Hello, I'm Joao Simoes, host of the GigaBrain Podcast. Here, we share real stories, strategies, and innovations from builders, operators, and thought leaders shaping the future of finance. Subscribe right now and follow us to stay ahead in crypto straight from the source. Thank you. Hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of GigaBrain Podcast. Today, we are here with Rachel. She's the head of comms at Foresight Ventures, a 400 million plus crypto native fund backing infrastructure and applications across the on-chain economy from L1s and perp dexes to AI agents and stablecoin rails. Welcome, Rachel. Super excited to have you here. Super excited to have someone from VC fund and here on the podcast, which is something that we are now bringing in more. Instead of just founders, we're also bringing the fund side. So I think that's super nice. And without further ado, please let us know your role at Foresight. What did you do before? And why crypto, why VC, and why all these things matter to you?
Yeah. Let me briefly introduce myself. So I'm the head of comms at Foresight Ventures. And so when I started, actually 2017 investing in Bitcoin, and I just feel like, okay, this is a whole new world. and then I started going full time in crypto 2021 Solana summer, something like that, and it was like very interesting because the industry is like, back in the days, there are so many new narratives coming out every day, and it was so great. And I started actually in Huobi. It's my full-time crypto job in their PR team. I switched from TradFi comms to crypto comms actually quite easily, I would say, because there are lots of commonalities between finance and like the backbone of how people trade and how the exchange works. So I was like really happy about the switch, and then after I moved on to GameFi during Solana summer, so it was like really fun time. I remember back in the days thinking like anything is possible in crypto, like
DeFi summer days. DeFi summer days. Yeah,
exactly. There are so many like startups raising millions of funds with only a deck. And so like the project I joined is one of them, and we're building like a WoW of Solana or something like that. That was like very hopeful. And then after the bubble bursted, then I went back to a more safe part of the industry, like exchange, Bitget, and then from Bitget, I'm now at their VC arm, Foresight Ventures. So it's all like I also switch from time to time, from narrative to different narrative based on like the time that I'm in the industry. So yeah, I would say it's a wild journey.
Perfect. I love that. And what can you tell us about, so Foresight Ventures, you guys, as you said, it's an arm from Bitget, and why Foresight was created was like a vision from the founder that wanted to maybe increase his own portfolio, or what type of narratives are you most interested, and how is your portfolio right now today, and how is your investment thesis at Foresight?
Yeah. I would say we're one of the most crypto native funds out there, because because of Bitget is an exchange, and then like it's our anchor LP. So we got from funding to investing to like go to market and also distribution. We have them all because we are under the whole big umbrella of ecosystem. And so, yeah, Foresight founded to, I would say, to further the industry, and not only, just trading and just on the token, but also we are a research driven investment firm, and our thesis is actually a bridge to East and West. So our team is more Asians, but then we are also like very cultured Asians. Like we live in different places. We have office in the US. We all speak good English, and also not only like one culture in Asia, but also like a mix of different culture as well in the team. So we are very good at helping Western projects, founders, and like, English speaking community to get into the Asian culture, or the other way around. So that's like our differentiation, I would say. And the other part of Foresight is we have a moat. we have like we have a lot of big media in our portfolio, and which is quite unusual for a VC, because like think about media, it's a bit like a last generation kind of thing, pre.com, pre-internet. But then we do have this conviction that like human beings are curious in nature, and we need information that is verified, and also to reach different audience base, we need something more than crypto Twitter. So that's why that also gives us a lot of information edge, because we have a different language of media to
Can you give us some examples of which of these companies are, like some names maybe that can resonate
actually,
with the audience too?
it's not very secret, because like if you have read some articles from the blog, we are actually listed as like their investor in every page. And then we also have Foresight News as one of our bigger portfolio company, which is a leading Chinese media, and as well as Coinus in Korea, and Block Temple in Taiwan.
Yeah, Block Temple, I know. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Quite of these names are quite big names, and we really appreciate the positioning that we have in this field.
Okay, no, having access to information is definitely something that puts you on the big advantage, especially nowadays, right? And that takes me to my next question, which is: so you backed everything from L1s, perp dexes, consumer apps, media, etc. So where is Foresight putting their most convictions right now? I know that off this podcast, me and you, we already talked about AI a lot. Is this something that you are investing a lot in AI, or are you looking at other industries? So what is next for Foresight in this next year or two, let's say?
Yeah, I think back before I joined the company, in 2023, 2024, we are actually one of the most active investors in the space. So like we've done easily 60 plus deals every year. And also because of the nature of our ecosystem, we have access to all sorts of different sector of startups. So we were not like really having a focus. It's just like the industry also, like, you never know which narrative will become trending next. So we were betting a lot of different realms in the industry. But then I think recently we have been trying to regroup and reconsolidate a little bit on our strategy. So right now, what we are mainly looking at is something that would benefit the whole ecosystem, and then, like, downstream and upstream businesses. So mainly in RWAs, payments, stablecoin related fields right now. But as usual, we would also take a look at, for wide variety of startups, not limit to these, but these are our focus right now. As long as, like, the value proposition and the numbers make sense, we would take a look.
Yeah, and that takes me to my next question, which is like, how are you doing this due diligence for these projects? Like, what is the factor? Like, imagine if I'm a founder right now listening to this podcast and I have a startup that I want to present to you guys. What are you looking for in a startup? Is the team, is the founders? Are you investing pre-seed, seed, Series A? Like, what are the metrics that someone needs to have to knock on the door of Foresight and have this investment?
I would say, like, we look at a wide variety of different metrics and also qualities of the team as well. Mostly it's valuation. I think it's very important, as well as, like, if the founders have track record, or if it's like introduced by someone. That is, I think, very, very important, because, like, if you're vetted by someone renowned in the industry, then that would makes it less concerning to invest. And also, like, how good of your product and what kind of problem are you solving? Does it make sense? Even, like the value proposition you're suggesting, as well as the macro trends, I think, like timing.
No, that makes sense. And you invest everything from pre-seed to Series A, or you are focused more pre-seed and seed?
We actually invest in everything.
Everything.
All
Okay.
stages. Yeah, pre-seed, or even after TGE on OTC deals.
Okay.
We've done a lot of those as well.
And your ticket sizes also are very, like, wide, right? Could be very small, very high, depending on the project, right?
Yes, but, like, okay, so I am comms, so I do check our socials a lot, and then I just saw a post today on Twitter saying we are amongst the biggest check sizes in amongst VC. So, but also, like, it depends from deal to deal. Like, it does not mean anything. It's just like we are willing to give more to people that we appreciate.
Right. And if it's a big check size, you're talking about like 10, 50, like, what is the size normally?
Range from, I think, 1 mil or even like a few 100K to 10 mil.
10 is pretty high for crypto already. Yeah, that makes sense.
Very high, a very wide range, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. No, that's very insightful for our listeners that are listening this and are founders. I don't know, and they want to know. And this is really
actually we just announced another commitment of 10 million to the block.
Okay.
Yesterday, because
Okay.
they just appointed a ex-Fox executive as CEO. So, yeah, looking forward to some new advancement development from the team.
Perfect, perfect. So, and my next question is here a bit more about like the licensing and the policy part. So, Foresight has a strong Asia footprint, as of course you already said, especially Hong Kong and Singapore. And with Hong Kong stablecoin licensing live and MiCA fully enforcing in July, how is the Asian Europe regulatory contrast shaping how your portfolio companies are positioned as of today? Is this something that is a concern for you? It's not, it actually beneficial? Very curious to know about that.
Yeah, that is very like at the point of where we are as an industry, I feel. Because back in the days, crypto was like kind of a wild west. Whenever you think about something, you go do it, and you don't really think about any regulatory until they, start to sue you. But then right now, I would say for big funds and for even VCs, that might be a good news, because now that so many markets has came out and define what is regulated and what is the things that we need to do in order to get a license and do it properly. And so actually, I think like this point makes all the startups more long lasting, but also like there are so many difficulties in between as well. Of course, like not everyone can get a license, and it's like actually we would think regulation is definitely a moat to a lot of the projects if they have managed to get license in different markets. Then it's a very huge barrier of entry compared to other startups that doing the same thing. So this is definitely a good judging criteria of like investment, and especially if it's like about institutional or stable coin or anything finance. So I would say crypto is no longer borderless now because of this different regulatory framework. And so maybe the business have to apply different rules to different regions, such as, a lot of exchanges have different regional sites, and also they might work with banks locally to be compliant and like to off-ramp some of the fundings and properly. And so I would say it's important for a new company to first lock down a market right now, and not to like aim too high for global, because there could be means a lot of like regulation costs, and it's also very costly to have a team for just for this purpose. So yeah, I would say it's definitely higher barrier than back then.
Perfect answer. And taking things a little bit more now on the market side and on the macro sphere. Of course, we have been having, as you know, like a lot of these hacks in DeFi and a lot of things happening in crypto, like more and more and more. And you being on of course, the investor side and in a VC fund, is this something that really concerns you a lot? Is this something that maybe make you more concerned about crypto in general? Or how are you navigating all these problems happening more and more with security?
Yeah, I think like security would be another theme of crypto startups next, after the regulations. It's very unfortunate to see so many hackings happen this year, actually. And I think There could be a lot threats still out there because now that we have AI and the AI models getting better and better, and therefore, your system have to also upgrade to get on that level. And also, I don't want to be targeted, but there is like a country like legally hacking as as their means of income. That is also like put us as an industry under a lot of you know, yeah, a lot of threats and difficulties. And I foresee actually there will be more security related startups coming out after.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like, and if these new security startups start appearing a lot, like this is something that could be interesting for your fund too, to start investing in security more, or what do you think?
Yes, I think as long as it benefits our other startups, then we would be more interested.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. And
And also
now,
quantum resistance is
yeah,
an theme I
yeah,
see.
yeah. I understand. Yeah, I understand. That's actually a lot of startups doing quantum resistant stuff now. Like I've started hearing more and more every event that I go. I start like I meet more people doing that, which is kind of curious too.
Yeah, I think like quantum resistant and security is the same thing because if you have quantum computer, then they can like hack into the whole blockchain and like decrypt all of the stuff. Then
This is still supposedly years away, but yeah, it's good that people already start thinking about that. Definitely.
right. So yeah, I think like you have to prepare for
For the
being
worst.
quantum resistant. It's not like just like magic, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. No, perfect. And as you know, like we also work, of course, a lot on Hyperliquid, and I'm also curious to know. And now that, of course, Hyperliquid holds roughly 70% of the decentralized perp open interest, with HypETF fillings advancing HIP3, soon HIP4. Is on-chain derivatives the strongest narrative in crypto right now, or is the story already saturated? Like, I've been hearing more and more DEXs, trading-related products every day, and I'm curious, you as the investor, if you still see more dexes and more perps, more trading, if it's still mega relevant, or if you think that it's not anymore.
I think like in terms of Hyperliquid, maybe you guys are more expert, but like I can chime in a little bit. So I would say whether it is saturated, it depends on like if the market is still growing. And right now, I do feel like the DeFi scene is a bit like bombarded by the security issue. So, and also, if you are DeFi is not secure, then it's the same as like hiding a bunch of cash under your rug, and so like I think that would be the thing that needs to be addressed first, and then also like there is a contrary of like, okay, if type apply for ETF, is it still decentralized? That means like banks can hold a big chunk of hype, and they can be like decided like the voting rights of them, it's very big, and that there are so many a mystery in the DeFi world that still has to be solved to decide like whether it be like going up or down, I would say.
Yeah, but for you as the investor, do you think it's still a narrative to consider, or you are looking more at completely AI and forgetting DeFi at all?
I think also as an investor point of view, prediction market kind of still stealing the show a little bit. as a prediction market is also like perp everything, like just perp any kind of information out there. So uh, that can be also like another competitor that PerpDex has, I think.
That's very fair. That's actually
Yeah.
very
Also,
fair.
like uh, agentic theme is also another thing that if PerpDex can be connected to agents and agents can trade like perps easily, then I think that might be a way to go.
Yeah, that's very fair. Yeah, another question that I have here. So you said before that your fund is really good at connecting the West and the East, right? And so, how do you see the strong points of the East versus the West as of today, and how is Foresight actually taking advantage of this? So do you see that Asia is advancing more rapidly, that it's better right now, or do you think that the West is advancing better or weaker, especially because of these wars? Because, like, again, I don't want to become political or controversial, but you see the US starting wars, Europe is always in the middle, and Asia is just quietly evolving, and they just don't give a F, right, about what the West is doing, and it's just doing their thing and just evolving. So I'm curious for an Asian fund that also has a US presence, if this is something that you take advantage of, or how do you see it?
This is a very hard question.
You think?
But it's also a very good question. I think, okay, just personal opinions. Just judging by the population density, Asia is really like it's more dense, meaning like per square meter you have more people. I do feel like Asian market has its potential. However, like also in the West, people are a bit more sensitive to narrative. So I would say just my personal experience going to events this year in Asia, you still get quite a lot of foot traffic, but then like in maybe Europe or US, there can be a bit less people just because it's not a bull market. It's like maybe it's harder for people to reach there. Yeah, I would say with...
So you are saying that Asians are more resilient and resistant to narratives, and Europe and America are not. That's what you're saying.
I guess so. Asians are more resilient to all the money making possibility, I would say. Like, so we are still hopeful, I would say. Like, it's like there's like still new things going. So maybe they're riding on the prediction market trend and still pretty enthusiastic. But then I can feel the vibe has gone in, the Western part of the world. I also live in Europe. You also do. And then you went to the States as well. And people are just maybe hibernating right now.
Fair. That's a very good point. Okay, that's perfect. So I have a last question about market trends that I always ask to everyone that I interview, which is a hot take. It's if we are in a bull or bear market, and why? Your personal opinion.
I think we're in the bear. There might be a bit like room still go down a little, but I think like it's almost bottom. I actually bought the dip. And then
okay.
Well, I mean, like usually when you see prices coming down half, and also now with the ETF and institutions holding a lot of Bitcoins and still doing this, and I feel this is a bear signal, definitely. But then I feel also things might be going upward from here.
Agreed. What I've been noticing and what I've been sharing with the other guests is I feel that we are in a political market. We are not in a bear or bull. We are in a political market because everything that Trump writes on Twitter or Elon Musk writes on Twitter, that affects the market, right? So it's not about the 4-year cycle anymore. It's about what happens on Twitter actually becomes the market. So it's pure market manipulation, but it's like legal, like Twitter market manipulation, right? So that's what I've been observing, at least. So it's a funny ways that we are living nowadays.
Yeah, but then I also want to believe that like a crypto is not only controlled by one country. However, of course, like if a leading country said something, if they're in trouble, it would affect crypto price a lot. But I've been also stress testing with my AI agent on this like thesis that if there is chaos in the world, would Bitcoin price go up? Because
Yeah, it's normally does, because Bitcoin is always been an anti-government, anti-system type of money, right? So if the dollar starts collapsing, Bitcoin always goes up because it's alternative to the government. Even though now is more tied to tech stocks, but it's still an anti-government type of currency. So
yeah, I would say so. Not anti, but like I would say pan government. Like
like it's like the shadow government, right? It's like the other side. Yeah, that's very true. Perfect. Rachel, we are reaching the end of our episode today. So I have two final questions. One is, if you have a founder coming to you saying that they want to launch a project in, let's say, Q3, Q4, what will be the piece of advice that you'll give to this founder as an investor today? And the second one will be, of course, for you to give us the roadmap and what Foresight is looking at in the rest of the year too. We are very curious about that. But personally, I'm curious about the first one, and then you can bleed out to the second one.
Okay, I will give the founder advice first. In Q3, I do see a lot of startups are switching their audience to institutional, so create LinkedIn profile, I would say. Like, and also, like, I think now if you're starting a startup, good luck to you, because I would say it's like the difficulty level is way harder than before, but still, like, there are so many opportunities out there, and together with technology advancement, but it's very important to find your moat, find something that you're really good at and develop it, because narrative no longer works, and you can't just like launch something out of the blue and hope that will make it. Institutions and regulations are way harder to achieve right now, so be more conservative. Focus on don't die rather than 10x the token price.
But at the same time, keeping it a product that institutions need, right? So it's all about institutions now, would you say?
I would say there are more opportunities in the institutional side than focusing on general crypto traders. And then, yeah, the next question is Foresight's roadmap. So Foresight, I just mentioned a little bit on the 10 million extra commitment capital of the block. And then so we will work closely with the block. And also we feel like under the AI slop kind of era, there should be someone like pushing the bar higher in terms of making good content and trustworthy and giving insights to decide make crucial decision. And then we are also looking at joining different conferences, and we're co-hosting a summit, more TradFi-ish summit in Money 2020 in Amsterdam. So in that event, we will have speakers from the big banks and Standard Chartered Bank and Intesa Paulo, as well as Bitget and other various speakers from the space. So yeah, looking forward to hosting this.
Okay, so it's all about news, better news, avoid the AI slop, at the same time looking at AI, but the good side of AI and pushing institutions. That's the conclusion. Perfect. Rachel, thank you so much for this. If you want also to shout out maybe the website of Foresight, your personal Twitter, if you want to share, and then we wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, Foresight is just foresightVentures.com, where I actually publish a lot of researches. Those are actual research that we write to
no
the
AI.
boss.
No AI.
AI edited, but then like they are written by our analysts, and even like our boss would read them, and then we publish them to the public. So yeah, we're sharing everything. And then my personal X, I'm building my following. You can follow me on down there. I will give the handle.
you will send us the handle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Rachel. And guys, it was a great episode, and join us for another episode next time. Rachel, thank you so much once again, and I will see you
Thank
in
you,
the other
Joao.
one. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
GigaBrain is brought to you by Swell Labs. To find out more about Swell, go to swellnetwork.io and make sure to search for GigaBrain in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hit the follow button so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.